And from the economy, from petrol issues, we move to politics now. Kano politics, to be precise. In Kano State, just on Saturday, the NNPP swept all the 44 chairmanship seats and 484 councillorship seats. And the APC has declared that election illegal, citing a court order that declared the Kansiek board illegal. And in fact, there was a court order just 4 days before that election that declared the constitution of the Kansiek board illegal. So we're going to be having that conversation with some Kano State representative from both sides of the divide, just to find out what the situation of things is currently. And joining us to have that conversation this morning, we have Mr. Mohammed Jamiu Yusuf, is the special advisor to Kano Governor on national and international public relations. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the program. And we also have Mr. Hamid Arua, APC Publicity Secretary, Kano State. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
So I'm going to start with you, Mr. Arua. The reports are to the effect that the APC did not participate in the election. Give us a sense of the position of the All Progressive Congress in Kano State as far as those court judgments are concerned, with, of course, an articulation of your position on the Kano election, your disposition towards the Kano local government election against the backdrop of those court orders. Mr. Arua, that's for you.
Thank you. Yes, actually,
sadly, we were having challenges hearing Mr. Arua. We'll get back to Mr. Arua and, of course, to our other guests in Kano to get a feedback on what exactly is happening in Kano State as far as the election is concerned. But questions are being raised about the local government elections in general, particularly about the concern that the state independent electoral commissions may not be independent after all, independent of the influence of the state government, particularly if you watch the pattern of the election victories in the local government elections, where the ruling parties are carrying the day and leaving very little room to other political parties. And perhaps we can have Mr. Mohammed speak to us about that. Mr. Mohammed, the NNPP has swept all 44 chairmanship seats and 484 councillorship seats. And even though the APC did not participate in the election, other political parties participated in the election. Can you speak to this? How is it that other parties were unable to get even one slot in the chairmanship and councillorship seats?
Yeah, thank you so much, and good evening, or sorry, good morning, viewers, part of the world. What I can say on this particular regard is that Kano State INEC has set out, rolled out its guideline for elections and advised political parties period should concentrate and campaign for the most other political parties, instead of going out to the field and campaign, seek for votes from the electorates, they decided to join in the hanky-panky game and the script that is being played, especially for Kano State, and running from one court to the other, window shopping for judges that can be able to do their bidding, while the NNPP as a party concentrated on campaigning to the electorates votes, and then at the end of the day, the electorate responded to the pledges and campaigns which the NNPP as a party concentrated upon, and then they decided to vote for the NNPP as, while the other political parties as I earlier mentioned to you, were busy window shopping for judges that can do the bidding as per the script that was already designed Kano State. So this is exactly the pattern that has happened in Kano, even though you have mentioned that in other states during the local government election it's so. Don't forget that NNPP as a party, when we came into office, we inherited a system whereby the APC had 44 local government chairmen too, and they had 484 councillors. That was what we met, and we treated them like kings, and the state government decided to honor them and work with them even though they are opposition up to the end of their tenure. And the state government ensured that they gave them all they required to function as constituted government at the local level so that they can be able to deliver the dividends of democracy to Kano people. So NNPP as a government, we have been fair to the APC when we came in and met their own local government chairman. Even during this election, we have eagerly and really wanted them to come in and participate and be equal players, but they didn't want to participate. They wanted to go and play their script. So what do you expect? The electorate found solace in what NNPP had, and they voted NNPP as a party. That's it.
Mr. Arua, let's bring it back to you. I know that one of the things that was raised by the APC is the fact that members and even the chairman of CANSEC were card-carrying members of the NNPP, and you wanted that election not to hold. But the election has come, and it's gone. The NNPP has finally won the entire seat, both councillorship and the chairmanship seat. What is the position of the party besides declaring, well, you're not a court of law to declare it illegal, but what are you doing next? Because you already have a subsisting, I think, court order. When I spoke with the NNPP National Legal Advisor, he had raised the concern that the motion was filed as an originating summons, also not a writ of summons, and it wasn't like everybody was given a fair hearing and the order was given. So it literally botched the entire process. But I raised the question of no matter how good or bad a judgment is, according to our law, it must be set aside. What is the position of the APC at the moment? Because it looks like you're moving on again to another legal issue.
Yeah, yes, I can tell you now, APC disagree with all the result, disagree with the elections because there was a court order for that elections. And as you are aware, that APC, we really went to court, you know, to tell the court that in 2001, there was a sign by the former governor of Kano State, Dr. Rabi Musa Konkoso. He signed a bill, you know, that anybody holding office, political office, will not be able, you know, to hold office of election, that is CANSEC or something of that. By that order, we decided to go to court and tell the court that, yes, most of the members of this Kano State Independent Electoral Commission were card-carrying members. And we cited about 7 of them, you know, with evidence to the court, and that this is the registered where they have registered their names. This is the photocopy of the card which we have. And, you know, the court decided to tell the CANSEC that there was no CANSEC, there was no member of that institution. To our, you see, to our understanding, even the government of Kano State come through, you know, the legal way. So I don't think there is any position from the government or the CANSEC that they will continue to hold these elections. In that conditions, APC, one, disagree that there was no election in Kano because there was not even the body, you know, to announce the elections. Because the CANSEC was the body to announce. The chairman of the CANSEC was the chairman of the board, which is supposed to announce the elections. So if the court tells you that there was no that institutions, then who declare the elections? And who is the chairman of the elections? Are you trying to tell me that the court verdict was not right, or what? If the court was right, I think the government of Kano State come through that way, and they have agreed and accepted that legal was working very well. While I can tell you, it happens the same way of these emirate tussles. When the Federal High Court give an order, sometimes they will go to state court or state high court to give another order to contradict all the case. But in that regard, APC, one, we have made our announcement yesterday that there was no any election in Kano State.
All right, Mr. Arua, before...
Instead for you to tell
apologies. Before I take you to the representative of the government, there are two issues that were raised from the legal angle. On one hand is the issue of whether you should have approached the state high court instead of the federal high court. I want you to speak to that first, because they say it's Kansiek, it has to do with the elections of local government according to section 197 of the Constitution. So why did the APC approach the federal high court instead of the state high court?
There are so many interpretations, through the law. I think sometimes you may call a lawyer to come and interpret all that kind of issues. We are illegal people, we are Nigerians, and every court, I think, you have the right to reach every court as far as you are a Nigerians. Even though if you are not a Nigerians, you live in Nigeria, you're supposed to approach any court. We decided to go to Federal High Court because we believe the Federal High Court will listen to our grievances, and they will understand what we are trying to bring off. So we decided to...
Ms. Arua, my apologies. Yeah. It's not a question of sentiment. It's a question of jurisdiction here. All right. So that's why I'm asking. Is it because there is a part of this litigation that you feel that should have been interpreted by the Federal High Court instead of the State High Court? It's not a question of convenience. It's a question of jurisdiction.
Well, the APC decided to reach Federal High Court, as I think that was our decisions. And, I'm sure through that way, we'll reach out to the Supreme Court, because it is not something that will just come and live in the state. Maybe later they will tell us they have constituted a judicial, maybe for elections. And later on, they will tell you that after that, nothing is going to happen. Now, we take away right from this place to the Supreme Court. And believe me, that the Supreme Court will listen to all these issues. And I'm sure we are going to get something that will be very useful to all Nigerians, not only us. But you can understand that in every state that they hold elections, when the sitting governments were there, they will tell you that they have swept everything. And I have heard my friend when he was saying we leave a legacy for them, 44 local government, 484 councillors, and that was why when they came in, they did the same. I think Nigeria is beyond that. We're supposed to, put a very good example by this age. When somebody made a mistake yesterday, I don't think when you come today, you will repeat the same mistake. We have to put things in order. And most of them are saying the federal, maybe the upper court in Nigeria permitted all the government, to go for elections. But that was not the way they asked them to go. You have to constitute a very legal, yeah.
Yeah, let me just quickly come in there. Let's manage our time and make the conversation as even as possible. It would seem as if both parties are cherry-picking which court order to respect. Mr. Mohammed, I'd like you to speak to this. Governor Abba had shunned the court order stopping the Kano election and local government election and went ahead with the Kano election. And indeed, in one of the court orders, the CANSEC chairman was sacked for being a card-carrying member of a political party, I believe the NNPP. I'd like you to speak to this.
All right, thank you so much, my sister, for this opportunity. As I respond to that, I will start first by thanking the Publicity Secretary of the APC for accepting that his political party made a grievous mistake during their own local government election, which I know we didn't make that mistake. We campaigned and people voted for us. And coming to the issue of the courts, the CANSEC, early September, approached the Kano State High Court with some reliefs that it sought and demanded to get an injunction restraining all political parties from taking any action that will disrupt the activities of the CANSEC. And the Kano State High Court gave that order on the 25th of September. After that order was sought and given, the APC as a party went against that order of the court saying no action should be taken pending the determination of the suit. But they went to the Federal High Court with the sole mission of putting a will and a hammer in the wheel of the progression of the CANSEC, which is against what that order of the court is. And they went to the court and they got what they wanted. But ab initio, already, the State High Court has already restrained all political parties through their agents, through their privates, through any other person whatsoever from taking any action. But they took the action and went to the Federal High Court and they got their judgment. So we already have that order restraining them from taking action which they took. And then on the 25th of October, the State High Court delivered its judgment saying CANSEC as constituted is having all the statutory right to conduct, supervise, and declare victory in the Kano State election. So when you look at the case from this perspective, you can see clearly the APC are in violation of a court order by that action that they took. While the Kano State government has shown to the world that they are respecters of the judiciary, and the CANSEC, they have respected the judiciary and the sanctity of the judiciary because they abided only by what the judgment of the Kano State High Court has declared. And don't forget, the State High Court are high courts of unlimited jurisdiction, while the Federal High Court has its limitations as cited in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They do not have the jurisdiction to dabble into issues of the state, the issues of creation of the state. But unfortunately, like I said, this is a script that is being played. And let me even tell Nigerians this. Already the next phase of the script is that they have already started celebrating that they will still find a judge in the Federal High Court that will declare that no funds should come to the Kano State local government councils. Their followers are already celebrating it in the social media, even declaring that if money can buy judgment, they have what it takes to get judgment from wherever they have. So we are watching to see how this will play out. It is a script, but we are law-abiding government, and we will continue to work with the dictates of the law and order.
And so we imagine that this will go beyond this level to a higher court for determination. And while we wait for that to happen, we will, of course, be following the sequence of events following the concluded local government elections in Kano State. We imagine, of course, that all elected officials will be sworn in no distant time. But, of course, the courts will also decide the matter. Would like to thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time on the program. We've been speaking with Mr. Mohammed Jamu Yusuf, Special Advisor to Kano Governor on National and International Public Relations, We've also had from our Kano studio, Mr. Hamad Aruwa, the Publicity Secretary, All Progressives Congress, Kano State. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful being with you people.
And just before we head over to our next segment now, we have a breaking story, right, Jeffrey?
Yeah, we'll just take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you a breaking story that's developing at the moment. Join us again.